So maybe you're thinking about moving into Sonoma County, and somebody said, make sure you look into Rohnert Park. And you're like, what is that? Um, a lot of people haven't heard about Rohnert Park. They've heard about Petaluma because it's got, Petaluma has what, 60,000, 70,000 people live in there. And of course, Sonoma's famous for its wine and the wine valley, and Santa Rosa is the big city in the county. But Rohnert Park is a little city between Petaluma and Santa Rosa. 45,000 people live there. A lot of new growth is going on there. Lots and lots and lots of new building. And I thought I'd share it with you because I have done a little bit of work there, and I'm in it and around it all the time. And I find it a very pretty, nice, pleasant, and super convenient place to live on a lot of levels. So, and if you like breweries, Rohnert Park has got, I think I counted like 6 breweries in it or around it. It's a lot of fun. So, and of course, like all the cities here in Sonoma County, you can drive around out and about and you'll be in wine country. And on the back of Rohnert Park and into the southernmost end, it's up against Pen Grove, a little town, and Cotati, and that is big equine country. So searching and exploring the city of Rohnert Park, smack dab in the flatlands here in Sonoma County. So let's get on it. And you know what? I'm leaving you a big tip at the end of this video, a first-time buyer's tip now. That's what I decided to do today. I thought, I get a lot of calls from first-time buyers, and sometimes you don't even know where to start. I'm going to give you your starting point coming up at the end of the video. So hang in there, and I'll leave that tip at the end. If you are a first timer to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you get all the future videos we put out every single Friday. And sometimes on Mondays or Tuesdays, I'll put out a bonus video. This is Anita Anderson with Discover Sonoma County Living, and I get calls and texts and emails from people like you every single day looking to move into Sonoma County, and you're exploring maybe the cities and the neighborhoods, and you want to talk to a local. Well, me and my team, we're locals, and we can tell you all about the cities and the school districts and all the things you might want to know if you're venturing into making a move here in Sonoma County. So we look forward to speaking to you. You can call us anytime, day, noon, evening, and we love to chat and help you kind of get situated and directed here into Sonoma County. Now, let's go take a tour of good old Rohnert Park. I'm going to switch over to my map. And Rohnert Park is a city that was a wee little, like, just, I think, a guy's ranch, Mr. Rohnert. He was a seed farmer, important in this county with hay and agriculture. And that was all through the turn of the century and into even World War II. He and his ranch, his sons took it over. And then they started selling off the land. And it's interesting, and we'll put this up on the screen, the city of Rohnert Park, the areas like this neighborhood will be the A neighborhood, this neighborhood will be the B neighborhood, and then the C neighborhood, and then the D, E, F, G, all the way up to the newest neighborhoods. I think they're in the K's or I's or something now. So it goes from A through the alphabet. So the locals talk about Rohnert Park like, hey, do you live in the M section or the P section or the L section or the E section? And you kind of know if you live in one of the first houses built in the 70s, or in an 80s house or a 90s house as we move up there, or are you living out in the new University District way out here? Huge new area. See, these are the G's, right? So you can see the G's. And where's the University District? It's out here too. I'm missing it. It's even farther out here. Old Petaluma Hill Road. Yeah. So it's in this area. So lots of new building going on in Rohnert Park. It seems never ending on both ends. There's also a little city down here. Where is it? Cotati. That's pretty big city, and it's not a big city, but to the locals, we kind of know if you're moving from driving from in Cotati into Rohnert Park. And actually, Sonoma State University is kind of right in between out here on Petaluma Hill Road. And a lot of, here's the University District out here. I was looking for that. And then Cal State, Sonoma State is out here. Why isn't it showing it? Anyway, it's out here. And Cotati is kind of where a lot of the students live if they're not living on campus. But it's cute. It's older, definitely old ag little town. But it's all kind of smushed together into the Rohnert Park area. So the A's are down here, and then B's and C's and D's, like I said. So I'm going to concentrate and kind of call the whole area Rohnert Park. But right below here, all in this area, brand spanking new homes. Nice area to live, I have to say. So this area of Cotati is super duper growing, and it's darn cute too. And it has an Oliver's Market. If you like Whole Foods, you'll love Oliver's Markets. There's a handful or two of them throughout the county, so they're locally grown. So Rohnert Park took off in the 60s and started growing and growing and growing and growing and spread out, like I said, to about 45, 50,000 people now. Interestingly enough, it never really got a downtown. So part of the big thing coming up here in the next 5, 7, 8 years is right down in this area, there will be a new town center taking up this whole area right here, right in this area. And the Rohnert Park Expressway is the main thoroughfare through town, but there's a lot of them. It's an easy city to get around in. You can see there's some curvy roads, and it's not really a grid, but you'll find your way around quite easily throughout both Cotati and then up into the Rohnert Park area. So Rohnert Park is going to have a downtown center, which it's never had. Okay, it just was like one development after another, and a downtown never developed. So the downtown area is going to have an amphitheater, mixed use homes, condos, senior homes, affordable housing, and I think some single family homes are going to be in this area. And I think even the police department and just like the whole city center is going to be all right here, which totally makes sense because Safeway, shopping, Starbucks, Target and all that is just, this is like where you do your life stuff right here in Rohnert Park. So it'll be fun to see this. And as you can see on the screen right now, those are pictures of the renderings of what this area is going to look like. It's all fenced off here in 2022. And I know the city is working on kicking that in the booty and getting it going because the people of Rohnert Park would certainly love to have a downtown area. Over by the university off of, where is it? On the back end over here, here's Sonoma State University. There's an area, an industrial area connected to the university with Sally Tomatoes in it, which is a great restaurant. They have all kinds of events. They cater things all over the city. And that's where like there's summer concerts and things go on a lot there. As well as, of course, Sonoma State University, which has the fantastic new Green Center, where there's everything from symphonies to outdoor. The back of the symphony hall opens up with a big jumbotron thing on the top, and so you can see your favorite musicians in there and sit outside in the summer and have your picnic. So so they have great music and entertainment going on in the city of Rohnert Park. And but it'll be nice when they get the little town center going on over here. It'll be great. So I've worked and sold a lot of houses throughout the city in many different neighborhoods. It's a nice city to find a really great house. The older houses are in the south, the newer houses are in the north. As I'm sure this is pretty common all over the United States, the newer houses have smaller backyards. They're closer to each other, right? They started building closer to each other with just smaller parcels. So down here you might find a huge backyard with a simpler house, but a nice house, but a bigger backyard, depending on the neighborhood, on the neighborhood and the development. Okay, you get into here, you still get some good backyards. For those of you with big families and dogs and what have you, I'm just kind of, these are questions that people ask me all the time. There's 2 big golf courses, really nice, great place for weddings and gatherings and what have you. And then you get into the newer homes up here in the University District out here. where they're $1 million homes, very close together, hardly a backyard. Back area, of course, you could have 10 people out there for dinner at night, especially in the University District. Uh, Over here. Ooh, I'm not finding it that well over here on the map. But the new developments out here have, it could be a 23, 25, 2,700 square foot home. But the kind of lifestyle people are looking for is like, look, we're both working and we really don't care about a huge backyard with a pool in the back. It, People don't mind living closer together and having a bigger, nicer house because they're spending more time in their house and not necessarily, laying outside reading a book as much. And they need just enough room to have 5 or 10 people over at Christmas time or for 4th of July parties or whatever. But they just don't want the big yard because they're both working. I hear that all the time. So older 1960s, 70s, 80s houses at the southernmost end of Rohnert Park, and then newer houses with you're getting into a little bit smaller backyards, not so much in the middle here. And then in the northern end and in the University District, definitely bigger houses, more 2-story houses for sure as all the developing happened, and smaller backyards. Lots of great parks, one high school in Rohnert Park. I think I collected the list of 6 or 7 elementary schools, charter schools, private schools, and a mixture in with the public schools. From what I've heard, I did not have children. I didn't have kids going to school, and I've not lived in Rohnert Park. But from the people I've sold houses to, and just friends that I have there, they raised their families there. They love the schools, and it's all good there. But you can do your own research, of course, on schools and their rankings. But easy place to get your kids around, to go to soccer practice, to go to, it's just a city full of great parks. Um, Recreation is not far away. If you're a biker, bike lanes everywhere, access to just great long roads that you can bike on. So you're also really close. Like from here, I'll move this out. It's an hour to Bodega Bay. Okay. It's an hour to get up into the river to see the redwoods. From anywhere in Sonoma County, I don't know if I talk about this enough. If you're a skier and you got to get up to Tahoe or you have a second house in Tahoe, 3 hours, maybe 4.5 on a really stormy, bad day in January. That happens. But getting out to see more of the things outside of where you live is still uber convenient and super fun, right? I mean, who doesn't want to drive from Rohnert Park out to Bodega Bay? It's a blast. Great country, great driving, and you're there in an hour. So at the Pacific Ocean, or the Pacific Ocean, as my friend says. So Rohnert Park is great. It's really, really convenient. There is not a hospital in Rohnert Park. There's one in Petaluma. And there, of course, are 2 huge ones in Santa Rosa, Memorial and Sutter. There's Kaiser Hospital in Petaluma. Petaluma has Kaiser offices, and then it also has Petaluma Hospital, not far away from Rohnert Park. So another thing people ask me about, like, what's the crime like since the Graton Casino went in? I think it went up a smidge, but it's not something that people are like, oh my God, I wish we never had that casino. Now it's turned into like, you know, a really horrible place to live or anything like that. I don't think that the casino has affected life too much in Rohnert Park in a negative way at all. It brought in a lot of jobs, and it's growing again, growing more. I don't remember all the details of how, but a lot of people that work at that casino live here in Rohnert Park. So, and if you had to commute from Santa Rosa or Petaluma into the casino to work, give it 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes. You might be traveling down Stony Point or something to get there. You can come in the back way into the casino. So, actually, it's up here. So, lots of employers. The biggest employer in the county is the county, and then the hospitals, And then there's lots of companies, big companies, Redwood Credit Union, Gelati Brothers, Tortilla Factory, definitely Amy's Kitchen. You've probably had their frozen food. I think they're sold all over the United States. Their headquarters is right up the road in the southern part of Santa Rosa. So if you work at any of those companies, living in Roanoke Park, if you work at Calyx or any of the medical device companies, SEMA, Callidian, in Petaluma, and you want to live in Roanoke Park, you're not going to hate your commute at all. 20 minutes, and you can take those old back roads that I keep talking about. So getting in and around Roanoke Park is crazy easy. There's a Walmart there, there's a Costco there, Home Depot, and there's the casino over there. I'm kind of blind without my glasses, so you have to forgive me for wandering into neighborhoods that I'm not talking about. So super convenient. It's the headquarters for Marmot. Their competition to North Face if you wear gear, mountain climbing, things like that. Their headquarters are right here. So that's kind of cool. I talked about breweries, and I had to just get on here and talk about, there's the Bear Republic Brewery, Parliament Brewery, Old Cas Beer, Grave South Brewery, and Pogi Fagliano Brewery. I have not been to that one. I'm not a big beer drinker. I mean, I love it and all, but I'm not an expert at all. I'll just tell you if it's good or bad, but I'll go have some beer with you at any one of the local breweries because it's a lot of fun. So Roanoke Park has a lot of breweries. Roanoke Park has a lot of industrial parks, and it has plenty of land for businesses to come in and, grow in business parks. So I think the breweries, the Strauss Creamery went in there, which I believe is a Marin County creamery. So I would say Roanoke Park is very, very industrial. 90% of the businesses around it, if you're not in the residential part on the east side of town, a lot of Roanoke Park along the freeway is a business park, business park, business park. And then businesses we all use all the time, like giant grocery stores and the big box stores, are all along the corridor here. And so Roanoke Park Expressway is kind of how you'll get around town a lot of times, or even up here in this area. Snyder goes from one end to the other. So that's kind of the scope of Roanoke Park. I think it's a pleasant, lovely city. It's flat, it's easy to get around, it's got great schools, it has farmers markets, it's going to have a center of town pretty soon. So if you're young and you're buying there and you're looking forward to that center of center town, the Roanoke Park, I forget the proper name for it. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. It's going to be good. It's going to be good for families and people that want something to go to and a place to go to and more shops, of course, and places like that in Roanoke Park. There's going to be a hub, a future hub in the city of Roanoke Park. So here's my first time buyer's tip that I promised you at the end of the video. If you've never purchased a house before, the best thing you could do, even if you know you can't purchase for a year or two, okay, or especially if you're like ready to go, is to get all your paperwork ready for a lender. And then to talk to a local lender. And if you're like, well, we really don't even want to start looking at homes until September, October, or 6 months from now, listen to the realtor. Okay. My first time buyers started thinking a good 10 months to a year in advance. Sometimes you have to clean up your credit. Maybe you just have $8,000 on your credit card, and you might go, oh my God, I have bad credit. That's not bad credit. It's just a balance on your credit card. And if someone's going to give you $500,000 to buy a house, they don't want to see you have other debt, because that means you're risky. Like, what are you going to pay? Your credit cards or the bank? Okay. So you have to become less of a risk for your lender. Okay. And so you're going to clean up your credit, which doesn't mean you're going to close credit cards ever. Don't ever close a credit card. Okay. You're going to pay them down. And a really good lender who I know and work with all the time can teach you how to do that strategically so that it increases your credit score. When you have a high credit score, you'll pay less in interest for all the money that the bank is lending you because they make their money on that interest rate, right? But you don't want the highest interest rate in town. You want the lowest interest rate you can get. And having a nice credit score and paying it down strategically will get you the cheapest money you can possibly buy. And it's good to know that way ahead of time. And then a few months before, when you're kind of ready to go, you've got your down payment, you've got your credit going on, okay? And you're getting closer, you're getting excited, and you really want to hook up with a realtor and start looking for a house, then you got your ducks lined up and you're ready to go. And for the next part of this year, 2022, and I suspect into next year too, there's not a lot of inventory on the market, so there's 2 or 3 people sometimes, not always, vying for a house. And I want you to win, especially if I'm your realtor. I want you to go in with an offer that the sellers will go, heck yeah, we want them to buy our house, okay? And that's because you had a great offer and a great loan, and then you'll be working with a great lender who can help move that whole process through in 30 days and will be handing you keys at the end of the transaction. How does that sound? Okay, so if you're a first-time buyer, don't put thinking about the money last. Okay, because it's not fun to find the home of your dreams, but you can't buy it because it's gonna take you 4 days to figure out a loan with a lender. And meanwhile, they've already sold it to someone else. It happens all the time here in California. It's happening throughout the country, but this is definitely a hot, tight market, and you just have to be prepared and ready to go when you're going to jump on a house because I like you to be successful. So text me, call me, email me if you're moving into town. I don't care if it's not for months now, from 4 months from now. Uh, get a hold of me and talk to me. And if you don't really want to talk to me, but you want to know the information, text me, tell me who you are, and I'll get you the lender's information. And we can just start tapping into that. And we can just start tapping into that information. And get you going on some thinking that you really have to do in order to own a home. It's a little bit of work. It's a windy, windy road up to Mount Everest, but you're going to get there. I'll hand you keys to your new home one day. It'll be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching this video, and the next one will come up right there.